Welcome back to Grandma Worldwide Radio. This is Unfiltered. I'm Man James.
This is your boy Jay Skyline, and you know what time it is. It's the first 10. After first 10, we'll get into the sports talk, but since we've been on for a while, I wanted to get into the world news that's been going on. And what happened in the world in the last week and a half is a man was killed in the Indian island of the North Sentinelese by the Sentinelese people who have never been, don't deal with outside people well.
Often, yeah.
Let's say they've been contacted off and on for the last about 200 years, which shockingly, because they're about 200 miles away. Actually, less. I think it's like 50 nautical miles. There's like a large city. It's on a different island, but it's like a large city. It has an international airport, everything. Like it's a real city. And this island, not too far away from it, has people that, like if you ever played the video game Civilizations, they just got metal because of a ship crashed here about 50 years ago where they killed all the people, and they just been scrapping metal off the ship. So they just got, they fish and hunt. They don't even use farming. So again, like I was saying before we got on air, one of your followers of the Church of Jesus Christ decided that he wanted to make sure that all those people of that island were given the proper opportunity to bath in the Lord's faith.
Yeah.
I'm not religious. I'm just trying to put it out the way he wanted it to be said because he's dead now. But to his credit, he made 2 trips to the island. Most people do not get a second chance to go on this island. The first trip he made, they shot arrows at him, and the arrow hit the Bible that he had on him.
Oh, wow.
In my eyes, even though I'm not a religious person, if I was a religious person, if I went somewhere that they did not want me to go, and the thing that saved my life was a Bible, I'm out. That means God told me that it's time to go. So the second day, the fishermen that took him to the island said that when he got on the island, they don't know what happened, but the next thing they know, they were dragging his lifeless corpse away.
Yeah. So that's I mean, he had a chance to live. I don't know.
He did this on his own.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even about a chance to live. You went to a place where nobody wants you. And then the best part to me about it is I always love comments. Because people on social media are like, they need to go to Western court. And I'm like, this isn't even America. Like, this is like, even the Indian government doesn't deal with these people. They just say, let them be. Mm-hmm. So, how do you feel about people spreading the Lord's gospel?
I thought we were done with that. I thought, if you want to join it. At this point, like, you already know what it is. You already know how many religions are out there.
As long as there's Jehovah's Witnesses, this is going. You know. I feel like if there was nobody else to preach the gospel to, the Jehovah's Witness section of Christianity would retire.
I mean, they could do it if they want to do it. I mean, that's up to them, but I don't know. I mean, there's no real big reason to push religion anymore. I mean, they're already out there. There's nothing really out unless there's some type of magical event happen that we could all say there's a new religion, but I don't know.
Hey, the Church of the Fonz is real.
Is that really real?
There's a Star Wars church.
Okay, yeah.
Always don't forget about the Church of Yeezianity.
Is that a
Jesus Christ, our Lord and faith?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a couple weird religions out there. I know the Star Wars one is real. I believe that there's a Star Trek one too.
I don't know. That's pretty heavy.
Yeah, I ain't about that life. I'm just saying that I think that's real too. So yeah, no, I mean, but no, you're right. Like when it comes down, actually, the funniest part of this now is so they're afraid his body will give them viruses because they don't have the immune systems to the diseases he can be carrying on them. So the Indian police went to the island to try to go get his body, and it was just I would say a 50-yard standoff between them and the people of the island because they don't want to actually physically contact them, and people won't let them on the island. Also, this island's apparently the size of Manhattan, so it's not a small island. Like, this is a huge island.
That's pretty nice size. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty. I don't know. I think you just put somebody in like some type of like suit, bomb suit, and just kind of have to like maybe just go over there and hopefully that nobody like attacks them. I don't know. I don't know what really you can do. And you don't really know where the body is. They said it was buried right on I think it was like right on the shore, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
In other news, we missed Thanksgiving. I do have one good Thanksgiving story. A man apparently got into a fight and I think shot his son, if not stabbed his son. I know it was like newsworthy for a reason. Over NFL players kneeling. Also, remember there are like no NFL players kneeling at this point, so this argument is a self-sustained argument. Yeah, he shoots his son. He shot his son over an argument over NFL players kneeling. So you know this is supposed to be a peaceful process, and people getting shot out here. And his last, no, it's almost Lombardi. Jorge Luis Venezuela Lombardrid. That's the name of the family. I hate people that got four names, but what is it now? Do you got two middle names, or is this?
That's you take both of your like family's like last names. So your father's mom and dad and your mother's mom and dad's last names.
So where did they get three last names and not five?
Four.
So his whole name is just last names?
No, the first name is his name, and then the four other names
are all last names.
Yeah.
There's only three. No, there's only four names here. Jorge Luis.
Oh, then two last.
Okay,
yeah.
I can get that.
Sometimes they'll do all four.
I mean,
like whenever.
No, I do know like Russian.
All four, like your first and last name?
No, do the first name, middle name, and then the two last names and the other two last names.
What he's saying is the mom's maiden name, the mom's dad's name, the dad's maiden name, the dad.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know that's what they do in like Eastern Europe. Like people's last names in Eastern Europe are like 40 to 50 like words long because they just combine everything. It's ridiculous. But back to the point. Apparently, he shot him with a shotgun.
God damn. Hopefully, it was like maybe I don't even want a slug. I don't even know. I wouldn't want a shotgun at all.
Hitting the hand and leg and will survive his injuries. His dad has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon.
It's probably like a shotgun spreader. Yeah, like.
He said it was heavy drinking during the Thanksgiving. Yeah. I just also didn't know that Hispanic people cared this much about this. I thought this was like just like a black-white thing in this country.
I think that Spanish people debate. I think a good debate is in the Spanish world.
I feel like if you're proud to be American and like I don't know.
I think a good old American debate.
Yeah, that's like you're like hey.
On the
that's not
positive
American
side
to
of
do.
Thanksgiving, a story that I remember from a few years ago. A Caucasian grandmother sent out a group message to her family, and one of the numbers she accidentally sent was to a young African-American man who decided to say, hey, well, I know you accidentally sent this to me, but can I come anyway? And being a true American grandmother, she's like, everybody gets fed in my house.
Yeah.
Okay.
That happened 3 years ago. Every year since, including this Thanksgiving, he has been invited back to the house for Thanksgiving.
That's what's up.
We talk about the positive here.
Yeah.
I like that. Just him, though? Is his family coming?
No, it's just him. I mean,
we don't want your family. you were fine.
I don't know the backstory of his life. Like, if he even got the family to bring. like you don't know. Like he might have been an orphan. Like,
oh yeah.
He was like, can I bring something? Ooh, you can bring a dish.
Yeah.
I've never thought about the sizes or dimensions of people's heads. This might be something where you're more intellectual about. But a woman's head swells after an extreme allergic reaction to hair dye. Apparently, her normal head size was 56 something centimeters, and it went to 63 centimeters. The centimeters lace doesn't help you. Go on our official Facebook page to see the picture that I'm showing James right now. But her head looks wild. Did you?
I mean,
It's swollen.
I mean, yeah, it's just swollen.
I've never seen them like that. No, I would be terrified.
No, you never see me back. This is what 7th. Wait.
Oh, when you lost that
9th, 10th grade or something. I had poisoned sumac on my face, and it was like my face was like swollen. It's like, and it was like.
Like I said, I'd be terrified.
Oh, that's definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror. That's a.
I feel like that's not you. Yeah.
One more thing, I got a video of a man deciding that he was going to try to have his friend cut a hot dog off his face with doesn't even look like a real sword of any time, just like some type of sword they look like they might have made. You are the drinker in our bunch since we saw the pictures you posted yesterday. What is
No.
But how do you feel about doing wild shit while you're really wasted with knives?
No, it's a bad
and
idea.
swords?
You don't do that. No deadly weapons at all. Even a pen. Sometimes you should maybe not even should have drinking. Damn.
But straight up sword is a no-no?
Sword? No.
Hell knows.
Hell to the fucking no. Fine. And even no. There's
Like, what do you say when you get to the hospital?
I don't even
Because they're going to want to know what happened.
I don't think you guys.
How did you even?
With
Who's?
doctors. I think they know when the entourage that rolls in with you. It's like, oh, we were just. It's just like we know. We don't even want to know no more.
Because I'm actually curious about that. Like, what would they actually do? Like, you show up to, because like in certain instances they got to call the cops.
Well, they have to call an. I guess they'll call an ambulance if you want to.
Oh,
if you want to, or you can call.
It was an ambulance or take him to the hospital. I'm talking about when you show up to the hospital and the doctor's sitting there like, so what happened?
There you have the video.
Bullet wound or like, I don't know. You still might.
That's like a knife cut on your nose. You could have been like, you could have slipped and cut your nose.
Did you see?
I don't know. I don't really know. Yeah, there's the video. I mean, they're like,
you say that, they're like, not from what I'm watching.
yeah, it's like the nurse just showed me this.
Because no matter what, like, I'm never gonna be mad at the guy with the sword because the guy with the sword was smart enough to be the one with the sword.
No,
that's my point. Like, he wasn't.
No, the guy who was videotaping was like,
oh,
I think that's fucked up, but
that's the real non-good friend. He said, this is about to get ugly. Not, y'all shouldn't do this. I really don't think y'all should. He went,
go on.
If that's the case, then I'm that friend. Just to let y'all know.
I'm not letting nobody in there after my nose gets cut off.
No, yeah. Nobody, yeah. Even the guy in the background, like the other people.
Anybody who didn't say no.
Yeah.
I hear no coming out when it happened.
Wait, how is it? But you were the one with the hot dog in your mouth.
I'm intoxicated. Supposed to have friends don't let friends do stupid shit like that.
Like, yeah, if you guys are fucked up and you're contemplating that, if one of you isn't even drunk, sober enough, or whatever, like, just to say, hey, man, it sounds cool to maybe do, but let's maybe wait to do that later.
I bet $10 that the owner of the house was somewhere else in the party and found out what happened and it came out and was like, why y'all wasting my hot dogs?
I mean, for real, probably.
I've never seen a hot dog be that important. A hot dog is not important, more important than a lot of stuff, and that definitely is not.
This might be like, this could have been at a frat party. Like, that's his, like, only hot dogs. I got like.
And that had to be a frat party. If that was anything other than a frat party or high school party, then these.
If that's not high school.
That was family. That one dude looked kind of, was it?
I don't think that was family.
The dude swinging looked like an uncle.
You look like an uncle.
I'd be so disappointed if that was family. Oh shit, that was family.
That ain't no house.
That's not house family.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. Then what do you? Then you gonna stop fucking with your aunts and uncles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could.
They didn't stop fucking with me.
Yeah, that's his uncle. Oh, and then he's just like, oh,
Last thing before we go into our normal segment.
No, but there's 3 people recording. So hold on, somebody.
I'm just mad that I had to relook at it and look in the background. I was like, there's like an old woman sitting there somewhere in the background. Like that's where I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, we're done. We're done as a family.
So you gotta like get that remove tag? Like I'm once removed. I've never understood that.
I'm changing my last name at that point. I'm new. I'm a new person at this point.
You definitely are, because your face is
Yeah. Oh,
Just call me Michael.
All right. Something.
Last thing before we go into our regular programming, I never cared when it comes to the party. I'm not one of these millennials that are like, he's not my president, and I won't say this about this man here. R.I.P. to George H.W. Bush, former president. I know he was a former military man and the father of another president and former governor of Florida and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But R.I.P. to the man again. I'm too young to really know what happened. I know things weren't great when he was president, so I'm not going to sit here and act like he was the greatest president of all time. But I start my knowledge of true knowledge of presidents at Bill, and then the only ones I've gone back and went to go learn about are Nixon, Kennedy, and the old guys that we always talk about.
All right, let me put in this perspective real quick. All right, so let's say he did a lot of stuff bad, okay, really bad stuff, okay, and you want to compare, let's say Trump. When Trump dies, and then you're saying your condolences, would you say the same thing about Trump though?
I don't think that George H.W. Bush did what Trump did.
He spent a lot of time doing stuff later to kind of fix the image of it.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think we're ever going to have that happen with Trump, though.
When Trump's a lot of fixing up. He would have to do some shit.
When Trump leaves, I think he's just going to go get an island and be gone.
I mean, did they like any of the presidents in the 80s? Because nobody liked Carter. Nobody liked Nixon. After Nixon was done, nobody liked Nixon.
Well,
Nixon was, Nixon fucked up.
It's woo, thank you for Trump. Because he was the worst until now. Yeah. I was bad, but not
So that's my interesting thing of the 80s. Nobody seemed to like the presidents of the 80s. So that's where I'm like is HW worse than Carter and Nixon?
You gotta throw Reagan in there too. Don't forget about Reagan.
Yeah, Reagan. You don't forget about
You can't
Reagan.
do 80s without Reagan.
And Reagan.
Yeah.
Well, no, Reagan. I've been seeing this video going around where I think it was a balloon, but like they thought it was like he tried to be assassinated, and he just did some gangster shit at the end of the video where he's like, "Yeah, you tried."
But no, when the dude jumped in front and he almost got shot at Reagan was kind of a G. He was a movie star. He was an actor, so he had,
Oh no.
he was a prick though, too.
Yeah, he's a little fucked up too. Yeah.
But yeah, no. But when like I said, when Donald Trump dies, I'll say like, "Hey, Donald Trump died." I don't know if there'll be a RIP attached to it.
You don't say it because it's media and former president.
Yeah.
Something like that.
If I'm being paid, if this is this
Oh.
show, no.
No.
Oh, then he ain't gonna be saying it because I ain't have it.
Like you said, if we still,
Twisty.
it's like if we still here, no. Like I don't have that type of need. Now, if I somehow make it to like ESPN or something, like they're gonna put the thing on the prompter and I gotta read it.
Yeah.
I can't just go like, what was that one woman that like snapped out on her job about weed one day? She's like, "Fuck this, I'm tired of all like yeah, I can't pull that."
She was running the dispensary or something, didn't she? Like, she invested in a dispensary.
Yeah, but still, like you had a job.
I mean, you went out a better way, but
Yeah.
Like that's my thing is like if like I don't have that in me, and if your dispensary fails, I'm sure you want that journalist degree to work somewhere. Like you can't go back. You can't go to no. Like, you have to go to like Nova Scotia or something to do the news where they don't know what happened.
Come here.
Come here.
We'll
Yeah.
take you.
So yeah, man, that was the first 10 as always. It's Monday, so we're gonna get straight into this football talk. So we didn't have any shows last week because I am broke. I can say that honestly. And I had a gas to come, so we will start off with Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So Thursday night football, the shocker of the world, the Dallas
Shocker of
Cowboys.
the world?
Who I can say I predicted because I benched Drew Brees in my fantasy league.
Okay.
You don't think it would shock the world?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you want to say shock the world, but I mean, it was.
A team that was averaging 30 points a game lost to the Cowboys, who we don't. And
One
none of,
was, one was on the decline and one was like there, and it's like the craziest turnaround.
and 13-10. Drew
13-10,
Brees threw
that's
for like
just a bad-
147 yards and an interception. Yeah, it was 13-10. That was the end of the game.
That's more surprising than the loss.
Yeah.
Your score was under 35.
Yeah.
But they don't put up any points. The
Cowboys don't score.
Yeah, the
But they
Cowboys
haven't-
don't score, so they just play down.
But out of nowhere, they seem to have like a top 5 defense. They're the only team in the NFL this season not to give up 30 points in a game. Mm-hmm. And that's including teams like the Ravens and Seahawks, who we do consider having good defense. So, yeah, like I said, I don't like the wild thing is I see nothing about this game makes me worry about the Cowboys at all. Because again, they scored 13. If they scored like 24 and it was 24-10, I'd be like, all right, let's look at the Cowboys a little bit.
But we can still talk about every other like. Any game could always turn up or turn down. Like
I'm not going with these cliches, man. This ain't no any given Sunday because it was a Thursday.
it was, yeah. Well, who do you think is going to win that division?
The East.
Yeah.
Oh, probably the Cowboys. I mean, if the Eagles win tonight, the issue with the Eagles is I think the Eagles still got to play the Saints and the Rams.
Redskins they're better.
Done. Do you have hope with the Redskins after Alex Smith? And I like Colt McCoy.
So you're Colt McCoy
I
fan?
have always been a somewhat Colt McCoy.
'Cause
Since
he's
he
short?
left Texas, because I'm not a Texas fan, I've liked Colt McCoy.
Because he's a short quarterback, like
No,
the Drew Brees, or
he's never. I don't think he's ever looked bad. I don't think he's looked great, but I don't think he's ever looked bad.
yeah. That team's not great.
Adrian Peterson was a top 5 rusher, and Alex Smith was Alex Smith for most of the season. Like I don't have a lot of downside to that. You got the schedule up, don't you?
What for?
This week. I mean, I can
this
get it real
week's-
quick. I just,
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
my-
Saint, you want to just go right into all the games?
Unless you had any insight on how you feel about the Saints. Oh, and apparently they didn't use Mark Ingram at all.
No, they didn't use Mark Ingram at all.
Yeah, Mark. I was about to call him Marvin.
Yeah, I had him on I started him. I was like, oh, this is gonna be. This is what in my one fantasy team. I have both Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. I was like, you
So
know
you
what?
started both of them?
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, we just run it on these boys. And I thought that's what it was gonna be. We run it on the boys, but nope. I took a major L on
I
that.
can imagine because Kamara only scored like 14 points.
Yeah, he
that was
screwed me
PPR,
up.
so I don't know.
No, he shit the bed. It was like 8-9 points or
That's
something.
what I mean.
But all right, big L for the Bengals, 24-10 against the Broncos. So
Hey, the Broncos, who are not going to make the playoffs, but they are surging at the end of the season.
yeah, they're doing good. 6-6 isn't bad. I mean, they went out.
They entered the season like 1-3 or something. So like, it's going to be a weird end of the season for the Broncos because I think they wanted to fire Vance McJoseph. I don't think they can.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. You want to go into your game, or you want to just keep it go down?
Oh yeah, because this was like the 1 o'clock game we have all season. It was kind of shocking to me because I had shit to do Sunday, so I missed the game. I'm used to my team coming on at
4:30.
like 4:30. So when I looked up, I was like, wait, it's a 1 o'clock game? It's like, oh. And historically, even though I think like every West Coast team that went to the East Coast this week won, it's usually a bad thing for West Coast teams to come East. It's like a waking up thing or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we beat them Detroit Lions like I always thought we would because, they are who we thought they were, and we did not let them off the hook.
Lions aren't really a team. I don't know. Why did they get rid of Golden Tate? I mean,
I don't know. Like, the thing is, I'm so weird about Golden Tate. Golden Tate's in that, like, Doug Baldwin area where I'm like, I'm not really sure how good he is, even though I know he's good.
He's now sucking with.
Oh, that's because the Eagles aren't that good.
So, I don't know. Is he good enough to be just.
Well, who's the number one receiver over there?
Where?
Because I think it's Zach Ertz. Which goes back to my argument a few weeks ago when y'all looked at me crazy about the white quarterback and his white guy. Yeah. Alshon Jeffrey and Golden Tate's on that team. And guess who's still the number one receiver? Zach Ertz.
I don't know. I thought Alshon Jeffrey was injured or something.
I have him on one fantasy team. I don't start him no more.
Oh. I don't know. I don't even. I should start benching Golden Tate at this point, but I'm starting him tonight, so we'll see. He's not gonna get shit. So,
but yeah, the Rams pulled out again. Aaron Donald got some more. He got another strip sack.
Oh, okay.
Again, I'm out here for Aaron Donald as league MVP. He's gonna get Defensive Player of the Year. I love you, Khalil Mack, but you ain't doing that much. And we're gonna find out this Sunday because it's Rams versus Bears Sunday Night Football in Chicago, and it's gonna be kind of scary.
You think you can handle it? That's a pretty defensive game.
It's more about the weather to me. I don't know if the team I'm not really everybody's like, oh, the cold. I'm like, as long as it's just cold,
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Like, I always say this thing. Everybody's like, oh, they're not a cold weather team. These people didn't grow up and live in Los Angeles their entire life.
Yeah.
Outside of Jared Goff, because I think he is from California.
Yeah, I think he is.
But everybody else on this team is not born and bred in the sunshine and the love. Aaron Donald comes back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So he was here for the Penn Hills championship game last week that I do not have the score of at this moment. But yeah, he was here for that. So obviously Aaron Donald's played in cold weather. He's played in Heinz Field in championship games before, which I've seen those championship games. They suck most of the time because they play them in the end of November. My biggest worry is if it's snowing, which I don't care. Unless you think that people that live or are from Chicago have morphed into webbed-based hands and feet because of the snow or something to help them have traction, everybody got to deal with snow. So everybody's going to be dropping footballs and everybody's going to be fumbling and shit.
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't snow.
Wasn't Lions coach training everybody outside?
So last month, when it was snowing in Detroit, the Detroit Lions head coach, the guy that has the ruggedest beard of all fucking time and he likes to keep a pencil in his ear, decided that, understand, the Detroit Lions, 1, have a domed stadium. 2, at the time he decided to do this, they were going on a road trip of 3 games against 3 teams that also all have domed stadiums. So he decided to make his players, who, as a grown-ass man, they'd have to find me or something, out into the snow to go practice in Detroit, which everybody likes to act like, oh, it's cold in Pittsburgh. The cities next to the Great Lakes are some of the coldest cities in the country. Mm-hmm. Detroit, Chicago, I assume Green Bay, but I call that a town, not a city. But yeah, those cities around the Great Lakes, that's why I know you don't people nobody moves to Erie. You want to move to Cleveland? I've been on the lakefront in Cleveland in December. It sucks.
Yeah.
Those pictures from last year is December, the first week of December, standing on the lake in Cleveland. It was raining and it was cold and it was miserable. But we was in Cleveland.
We was in Cleveland.
So
that sounds like
actually,
a story.
it might have been today last year. Honestly, God, it's about exactly a year that me and my boy Zach went up to Cleveland because he wanted to go to a Champs outlet. and try CC's.
CC's. Didn't you guys get White Castle too?
No, I didn't get the White Castle until I went to Chicago,
Oh, okay.
which was fire.
Murder burgers.
Well, I didn't get a murder burger. I got a chicken and waffle sandwich. It was a chicken and waffle sandwich up there. Oh my god. One more sidestep. I tried KFC's chicken and waffles. I kind of feel like it's not that good. Like it's okay, but it's not that good. They got Mrs. Butterworth though.
Okay.
What's the next game?
All right. Texans Browns. Texans killed it 29-13.
I mean, I expected that. I mean, I don't expect anything from the Browns. They're better than they used to be.
I think
Texans have the longest winning streak in the NFL.
yeah, they're doing really good. So it was like the Browns were in a pretty good place to keep on winning, but I think it'll be a little bit.
Let's keep it moving.
All right, Jaguars Colts.
Who won that?
6-0 Jags.
Wait, what? That was the end of the game?
That was the game.
Oh, how did I miss this? For one thing, the Colts, everybody keeps on telling me that Andrew Luck should be an MVP contender. And that will win Comeback Player of the Year, even though I think Adrian Peterson should win Comeback Player of the Year. That's just me. What? Okay, so we get lit out here.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. If he can't win these easy games, I mean, the Jaguars, they suck.
who had a backup quarterback who I think was Blaine Gabbert out there. They didn't have Bortles out there anymore. So yeah, there's something wrong with the Colts. They lost 6-0. Andrew Luck is supposed to be like the reincarnate. It's like when it comes to
Cody
talents,
Kessler.
That's worse. But when it comes to quarterbacks that we believe just have full-blown natural talent, like Tom Brady, we believe is the best quarterback in the NFL, but we do not think he's an athlete or like that type of dude coming out of college.
No.
Aaron Rodgers, we thought coming out of college was a fucking genius, and the same thing all they talked about Andrew Luck was he's the greatest thing on earth, his mind and all that shit. If you're that good, being shut up by the Jacksonville Jaguars is not an option. Losing 6-0, this is not 1953.
Yeah.
Like we got the forward pass.
You got the goddamn. But the thing is, Andrew Luck had 248 yards in an interception, but like the run game was biggest person was 8 attempts for 27 yards.
So you're telling me that Andrew Luck played like Ryan Fitzpatrick yesterday?
But
That's some Ryan Fitzpatrick type shit.
But he didn't. And then Cody Kessler got 150 yards. And then, I mean, collectively, the run game was all right. Cody Kessler did 5 attempts, 28 yards. Yeldon 16 yards, and Carlos Hyde 36 yards. I mean, it wasn't like, that's just a bad game. It's just the old Jaguars. That's just what you're getting back. That old bullshit after Maurice Jones-Drew.
I ain't got nothing nice to say about whatever just happened because the Jaguars, they got no chance. The Colts at least had a playoff chance, but with Houston winning and them losing, that's over. So
They're done.
So what's next?
Hold on.
So I'm waiting for the person that's apparently lost his job. So I'm waiting for that game.
Dolphins, Bills.
All I know about that game is that one of the players at the end of the game got into like an argument with one of the referees because he said one of the referees called him the N-word.
Oh.
Oh, and the Buffalo Bills are one of the teams that apparently are allowed to break the helmet rule because they went throwbacks yesterday and they got to wear the Buffalo helmets with the red Buffalo.
Oh, that's cool. But they can, what do you mean, like they're not allowed to change anything?
People aren't supposed to be able to change helmets unless it's a sticker. That's why the Rams are allowed to change helmets because they're saying they're using stickers over to change the color of the horn. The color of the base helmet stays the same. It's just the color of the horns that's changed.
Oh. Wait, you're only allowed one set of helmets?
That's what they want. It's supposed to be a safety thing. That's why you never see the Eagles wear the Kelly Greens anymore because they want to wear the helmet. Because it honestly wouldn't make any sense to wear the Kelly Green jersey and the dark green helmet.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Here it is. Cardinals, Packers. 2017.
Get him out of here. Mike McCarthy going home. It's been time for a long. Again, I would have gave him the end of the season, but you can't lose to the Cardinals. Like, that's embarrassing. Cardinals are terrible. It's Buffalo Bills, Cardinals, and Giants. These teams are terrible. And the Giants won this weekend, too, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, everybody's like, oh, he shouldn't have been able to go out like that. I think we got standards over here, I thought.
I think Mike McCarthy should have had, maybe to the end of the season. But
also, let's stop acting like he won one Super Bowl. And actually, was he even the coach for the Super Bowl? 13 seasons. Yeah, so he won one Super Bowl. Joe Flacco won 1 Super Bowl. Look where they got him right now.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
A lot of people in it is that.
I don't know.
See how the people of Pittsburgh treat somebody that won 1 Super Bowl. Every other week they want that dude out of here. How they talking about him today? Yeah, that's my point.
All right. All I'm saying is they could have given maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it is. They're 4-7
And
1.
Let's not forget the 1.
In the 1, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's up with their team. I mean, I thought they were gonna maybe win out that division, but
they don't have that good of a defense. They don't really have that great of a running game. I believe they have good wide receivers, but like things don't look good.
they have great receivers. They just don't have a running game.
I look at Devontae Adams, and then I see Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham ain't shit.
And then I'm not a big Randall Cobb fan.
Yeah,
and
Randall
then
Cobb's there.
only thing I know about Geronimo is that his first name is fucking Geronimo,
Yeah,
and his last name is Allison.
yeah. That's all right. That's about it.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. First thing, I just want to know how long it took him to memorize spelling his own name, because I can't spell Geronimo.
That's like the first thing you learn. I mean, that's the only thing. I don't know.
Everything was easy after that.
I believe it. You better be bilingual too.
Damn.
You better learn something.
So what's next on the
Bucks and Panthers. They took
Buccaneers shocked the Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers are falling out the playoff race.
Canute's outfit.
Yeah, when he had like an open chest outfit.
Yes. Cleavage, like just the 3-piece.
A blouse?
No, he had the vest of a suit on, but without a shirt underneath. So the vest only covers hair. So it was like vest and then a coat, but no button up.
Right.
So it was bare chest.
First thing, it means the sweat was on it too, which is weird.
And he had the Elmer Fudd top hat type.
Yeah, he got them wild ass hats and shit. Yeah.
Hey man, it's Cam being Cam.
Cam.
Can't lose and do an interview with that shit on.
If this is what you wore.
Yeah, that's what he came in.
Hey, Jameis Winston get to keep his job for another week. That shocked me.
That's surprising.
Well, they get to play the Saints next week, so it's over.
Is it gonna go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick? Like they can't.
They need to, because they were the team that beat the Saints the first week of the season with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So you think they should be like, all right, get in there. He puts up 400.
I need the Buccaneers to win, because I need home field advantage. I do not think the Rams can beat the Saints if we have to go back to New Orleans in the playoffs. I think we can beat the Saints if they have to come to, Los Angeles.
But that's not even their home field. But I mean, it would be.
What do you mean? Like until they build the stadium, it's Coliseum or nothing. And the Coliseum's in South Central.
Okay.
So if we Inglewood, South Central, all we doing is playing in the hood.
All right. Ravens and Falcons. Falcons are just shit in the bed. They're done.
Lamar Jackson, 3 wins in a row, bro. They said he couldn't be a quarterback, and remember that loyalty to Super Bowl champions? I don't think Joe Flacco's getting his job back.
Oh shit. There goes. Oh, is this one of the questions? Yep. All right, we'll wait. We'll wait to talk about that.
I can deliberate on that later. I don't have to get into it.
I don't know whoever said anything about Lamar Jackson, but I think Lamar Jackson. I don't think it was Cole picking him up. I mean, as for the Falcons wise, because I mean for the Ravens wise, because like
and they're
Flacco's
doing it.
still decent.
No, he's not. He had like a 2 or 3 game losing streak before he got hurt.
I mean, no, but I'm just saying, like, before coming into the season.
No, he wasn't. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Remember how the Buffalo Bills and the Titans made the playoffs last year because the Ravens somehow didn't?
Yeah.
Remember all those years after the Super Bowl where we just haven't heard about the Ravens or what the hell they're doing?
All right. But the Ravens are doing good. All right. Lamar Jackson's killing it for them. All right. So we'll just keep it going.
All that Super Bowl, what's supposed to be Super Bowl loyalty or something like that? That's what we calling it?
Is that what it is?
That's what y'all seem to be calling it. I don't got no loyalty 5 years after the Super Bowl, bro. We need another one. Only Ray Lewis can go 12 years between Super Bowls.
Yeah. All right. Can you explain this one? Giants, Bears.
I can't. Because the Giants beat the Bears? I knew the Giants had won. I didn't know it was the Bears. See, I ain't worried about the Bears on Sunday. No, but Odell Beckham Jr. threw the coolest touchdown pass of all time. That dude did like a double juke pump fake and then threw it with no form, like 60 yards downfield, and it was perfect. Odell Beckham Jr. is a freak of nature. I hate him as a person. Like, he's a shitty person to me. He's the next T.O. in my eyes. Like, and I think he's worse than T.O. because he's a millennial thing, so I think he's a crybaby.
Yeah.
T.O. I didn't think was a crybaby. I just think he cried when it was like a moment to cry, like on purpose. Like that Tony Romo bullshit was a fake thing to me. He wasn't really crying about his quarterback to me. But yeah, Odell Beckham, when he did you see it? The touchdown pass from Odell?
No.
You need to see that.
You know, and what, the punter for what's his name?
The punter from one of the teams threw.
Cox or Coach, whatever.
Yeah.
Coach, whatever, however you say his name.
What team was it? It was one of the teams. I think it was the Ravens. Was it the Ravens?
Yeah, it's like. No.
I don't know.
But yeah, Odell Beckham's touchdown. Oh, also, Odell Beckham Jr. has 2 touchdown passes this year of 40 yards or more. Eli Manning has none. It's time to go home.
I mean,
But you know, Super
I think it
Bowl
was
loyalty.
fucked up last year for Eli. Like how they like benched him, and then like started him after that.
The thing was they were gonna bench him for Geno Smith, so I'm like, what are y'all benching him for?
Yeah. So I was just. I think they could have like gave him that and then like let him end his like.
Are you checking it out?
Trying to check it out. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't think Eli deserved that.
I mean, he's gonna get to finish his last season with the 3 and whatever Giants since they somehow beat the Bears.
4-8.
4-8.
So they can win out. They can be 8-8. That do that same bullshit. Is that how they went to the Super Bowl?
No, they went 7-9. One year they went 7-9.
That was just. All right.
What's next on the docket?
All right, Jets and Titans. Titans got 26-22 over the Jets. Jets can't seem to make it.
I don't know anything about the Titans. Apparently win some games, but I don't know anything about the Jets at this point. Josh McCown's been starting, which I'm a Josh McCown fan, but y'all losing, so another one bites the dust.
I just don't. I don't know what's going on with him.
What's next up?
All right, next one is. You got Raiders and Chiefs. 40-33.
This is why I don't think the Chiefs are the best team in the country. How many points did the Raiders score?
33.
That might be the most points they scored in 3 months.
That was Jared Cook's birthday or something.
What team is he playing on right now?
Jared Cook's on the Raiders.
That means his birthday was a sad.
He had
birthday.
100. He had 100 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I'm just saying. He just turned up that day, and nobody else really Jordan Nelson ain't doing well.
Jordy, don't switch up. He ain't got my name.
Jordy. Yeah, I said Jordan. I didn't say Jordan Nelson. No, Jordy Nelson. I mean, he had a pretty good game. I guess 10 receptions, 97 yards. That's good. No touchdowns.
So your idea is if it wasn't 100 yards, it wasn't good enough.
No, he hasn't been doing anything the whole year. So I mean, I expect more from him. I expect a touchdown every week from him, but I guess he was. I mean, that's why they got rid of his ass up and.
They're not doing any better, James.
No, but
Green Bay ain't doing no much better without him.
I don't think it was gonna help him. All right, Patriots and Vikings. Patriots got another
won, but did you see what happened with Thielen and Belichick?
Yeah, there was some heat going on between
Yo,
them.
he told him to shut the fuck up.
Who did?
Belichick told Thielen that. You can read his lips.
Shut the fuck up about what?
Well, there was a point where they gave the Vikings a first down, and it was obviously not a first down. And one of the Patriots players hit the ground and faked the injury so they could wait to get the challenge flag out there.
Oh.
And Thielen was yelling at Belichick about it. And Belichick basically told him to shut the fuck up. You can see it reading his lips. He told him to shut the fuck up. So they said they were cool after the game, though.
I don't think so, no.
My theory is because Thielen said he apologized and he said that he was out of place. Is Thielen figured out that when the Vikings are done with him, he got one place left and he better not burn that bridge.
He might have a chance somewhere else. There might be another.
There's the New England Patriots and the New England Patriots. Maybe the Detroit Lions because that dude used to coach the Patriots.
If Cooper Kupp goes down.
Cooper Kupp's out for the year right now.
I'm just saying, forever.
That's what happened with Amendola. And so he's with the Dolphins now, but he spent 6 years with the Patriots after we got done with
I'm just saying, but this guy's, Thielen ain't leaving. He's Minnesota for life.
Wait till he asks for that paper and we're like, hey, man, you're a 6 foot tall white running back from, Minnesota.
He's a
You're
receiver.
Well, this is the Minnesota Vikings. I know, but, that's, we know what's around here. So, if you could take this, then yeah, you can stay. If you
Thielen's a
can't,
beast. You're gonna say that he's not?
I don't think Thielen's is good without Diggs, and vice versa. I think both of them being somewhat moderately good makes them both better than they are.
I don't know. All right, I don't know.
Because nobody can really focus on either one. Like if you focus on just Thielen,
Yeah.
Diggs will kill you. And if you focus on just Diggs, Thielen will kill you.
I don't think Diggs has been around that long as Thielen has.
This season?
No, like yeah. How
Well,
long
Thielen was a rookie last year. And
Was
Diggs
he?
has been in the league longer than last year.
I thought Thielen was in here for at least 3 years.
No, this is his second.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he balled out in his first.
No, I mean you could ball out your first, but that don't mean like you were. I don't know. This back. I don't know.
Wait, Diggs is at least year 3 or year 4.
Okay. All right. Seahawks 49ers. We got Seahawks killed it.
I'm assuming Seahawks won.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing about that game. That's a rivalry.
It was
game,
just
okay.
a murder.
Richard Sherman got to play his
16.
old team.
But he got that. I don't think he even got. He probably didn't get an interception.
Got that. And I'm sure he didn't get an interception. He's not that good anymore.
He's just He's just.
I just see him doing those Emerald pistachio commercials. I'm always weirded out by commercials and stuff where I'm like, the people that eat this are the people that eat this. Like, nobody, you're not gaining any new people. Like, I just believe if you eat pistachios, you eat them. If you don't, you don't.
Pistachios are delicious. They're probably. Oh, those are the best.
Pricey. That'd be the reason
I mean, yeah. Other than being like, yeah, if I had to pay for them, like if I had to like, I'll treat myself or something.
Y'all already
Yeah.
know how I feel about bone-in chicken. Why do y'all think I want to work about getting to eat a nut?
But those are like you just.
bone-in chicken is originally the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Bone-in chicken, yeah, like they didn't.
You're against the original, like, yeah. You know how, like,
No,
bone-in cow,
I'd rather
right?
I'd rather have a breast.
Yeah, it has a bone in it.
I mean,
Yeah.
like a cut breast. Like, just get a cut, no.
All right. Okay.
I'm not saying processed chicken. Like, I mean, I'll eat a
That's what
chicken.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Game on a bone.
No, I'm talking about like I'd rather have a chicken breast where I can eat the entire chicken breast instead of having to worry about crunching on this bone.
Gotcha.
And same reason I don't eat sunflower seeds because I'm like, what am I doing with all this extra shit in my mouth and then I gotta spit it all out.
Pause.
All right. Okay.
Next game, please.
All right, and we can finish it off with us. The Steelers getting that L to the Chargers. We let them come back.
Or are they who you thought they were?
I don't know. I feel like we kind of got cheated a little bit.
I didn't see the play, but I heard before I saw what was going on. The first thing I saw was the two guys running into each other. But
End of the game.
but
No.
apparently before that there was like a false start that wasn't called, and then it was a touchdown.
Whole game changer.
Yep.
I believe that. Like I'm not saying it wasn't.
It was 13-0 with like momentum from the start. Defense had like a sack second play. Like, you know, it takes a while for the defense to get pumped. So to start off with a sack, we knew we were in a great game. And then they let them get their nut, and then everything just changed there. It's like, oh, we're getting cheated today, and it just all went downhill with the normal. Here we go again.
Here we go.
I
Yep.
was like,
Just
when
started to-
I saw them two dudes run into each other. I'm like, oh, okay.
That was part of the here we go again. After
Yep.
it started, we just anything
Yeah.
that happened, we were like, yep, that was supposed to happen.
I've been saying the same thing since I saw it happen. Though I don't blame them dudes. This is a baseball. Like when a pop up goes up, people in baseball call it. You can't call that. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at like. First thing was it Joe Hayden because Joe Hayden looked hurt, and then I don't know what the other dude.
We got fucked up. I don't know. It's
And then, like I said, Keenan Allen had the foresight to catch the ball and start dancing. Where I'm like, bro, you didn't do nothing. Like, it's the equivalent of the quarterback overthrowing the wide receiver, and then the cornerback starts doing this after the play because he's acting like he did something. Like, bro, like you ain't do nothing. Like you just happen to have the ball land in your hands.
that was a I don't know. It was a, and then that very end, it was like 3 fucking like penalties.
Also,
Offsides,
Offsides. Like full start, you go call like now.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Yeah.
hey, I did hear that the NFL's probably going to fire the ref to miss the false start. Like, straight up just fired it.
No.
Helps Pittsburgh how? Every year, how does that help us?
That doesn't help it. Yeah, that doesn't help anybody. It's just like, all right, we'll just go ahead and get, for next year there'll be.
Loss, but damn, y'all could have won these last 5 years if it wasn't for us. Like, who cares who was there that?
Well, the other problem is if the because I'm letting y'all know now. Is the Saints game next week?
What?
Yeah. Y'all have that fun. The Saints just lost to the Cowboys. I'm sure they're pissed.
We could maybe get this.
Yeah. if the Ravens keep on winning with Lamar Jackson,
Ravens, Chiefs.
wait, what?
That's next week.
I got a chance right here.
Y'all both lose and it cancels itself out because I don't got y'all against the Saints. Because my thing is the Ravens can pass y'all. I still think you'll make the wild card game, but I don't think this is 2005. So
Yeah. I don't know. And then Saints Buccaneers.
also, I really think y'all needed the bye week. Like I didn't think y'all were gonna get home field advantage from the Kansas City, but I thought y'all could be the 2 seed.
All right, and then tonight's game, we'll see what happens with the Redskins and
Who's at home?
Eagles. Yeah.
You know who's at home? Because I don't. This is a toss up to me.
This is wrong week.
This one only for the home team, don't lose, like, so it's not really.
I just want to know where they're playing. Like I'm probably still gonna pick the Eagles. Like you could tell me they're playing in downtown DC because I know the stadium's nowhere near DC.
Is Lincoln Financial Field in
That is in Philly, so they're playing in Philly. So I'm giving the Eagles 28-12.
28-12? Wow. Oh wow. You know what? Wow. I had to do the math real quick in my head. Let's say 35 to 23 Eagles.
Okay, I was
Golden
shocked.
Tate with all the touchdowns.
Y'all both win the Eagles?
I want the Eagles on this.
I don't want the Eagles on this. I'm just saying that this is what I think is going
What's
to
the
happen.
other team?
Redskins.
Redskins.
Let's go Redskins.
Redskins. What are you
Love that.
thinking?
They back up quarterback.
Kansas with a 18-9.
18 to 9.
Oh, you're old. Do you remember what happened? Did you see Joe Sasman when it happened?
What?
The Joe Sasman.
The leg thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, this was 2 weeks ago. Alex Smith, the former starting quarterback of the Redskins, got the exact same injury. Same day. And Joe Sasman was there when I was watching Red Zone. I always say there's some insensitive shit in this world. Y'all ain't have to zoom in on Joe Sasman when it happened.
That was perfect.
Yo.
Like, how did you ever get that line up? Like, that was like.
Because Joe Sasman, you can
Yeah,
see it
you
in his
can't.
face. Like, he was like, he just saw himself.
Yeah. Oh, he probably like he was sick the whole day. Like,
Yeah. He probably felt something. He's like, I need to go to
And
this game.
LT was the one that hit him.
Yeah.
And that was like the one time
Ended
LT,
his career.
and that was the one time LT felt bad.
Yeah. It's for ending someone's career, but like, who's the backup quarterback after that happened? Like, what happened with the team? That's how I'm going off of this. After he got,
Well, they won another Super Bowl. It wasn't that year, but I know they got one more Super Bowl out of that team.
Redskins is winning. Let's go Redskins.
Redskins.
History repeats itself. Next year, Redskins on the way. Woo.
All right.
Other news over the weekend, we got the Wilder large white guy fight. I forget the other dude's name.
Yeah.
It was a draw, but from what I understand, Wilder knocked dude down like 4 times, so I don't know how it was a draw.
It's based off of punches, right?
It's based off of
Hits?
well,
It's,
based
well,
off
no, but I'm saying like the count, and then it's like then the hard
no,
hits.
It went to the judges, and then the judges could really get to choose. Like, yeah, it's supposed to be based off of punches, if you want to say that.
Oh.
But one of the judges scored. I don't even get it because I don't think any of the judges scored the other dude winning, so I don't get how it was a draw.
Yeah, that makes no sense. We'll find out.
And again, in my ideas, if one fighter gets knocked down more than one time and the other dude never goes down, that's it. I don't want to talk about this. I'll admit that you might get one knockdown and then power through the fight to win the numbers if nobody else falls down and then everything else looks cool. You get knocked down twice, you gotta knock that man down. Got to. If you don't knock him down and this goes to a draw, you lost, bro. I'm sorry. He knocked you down in the second round and the 5th round. I don't care if he made it to 12.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury.
I know he beat one of the Klitschko brothers, which in my eyes, I don't care what age they were. If you beat one of the Klitschko brothers, you're a real fighter. Because them dudes was huge. Like, the Klitschko's was like the real life version of the Russian dude from Rocky.
Yes.
And they were twins. That was the other thing. They were twins that won like both the heavyweight titles in Europe and wouldn't fight each other.
They got 2 black dudes that's like that now, boxers, who's like 2 young guys.
Okay.
There's 2 brothers, twins, like twins the same way.
Okay, that's dope.
Both fighting on the same night coming up soon.
Hopefully they don't listen to their mom, because the Klitschko brothers' mom wouldn't let them fight each other, so we never saw
I
that.
feel that because Nunez was one of them people. They ain't twins or nothing, but it was one of them never put on the show outside for other people. Like one of them never let them see.
Yeah.
So, but if it's $14 to $27 million to $80 million, we fighting, bro.
Yeah.
We're fighting if you don't want to fight. That's why we're fighting. I said, yo, we can make $80 million, and you said, no, I don't want it. Now we're fighting. Off camera, on camera. You better go and take the money because we're fighting now.
Like in my case, like this fight was over the belt. The total money we could have split.
Yeah.
Like money we could have split. Now the belt comes home with me.
Yeah, like he's like, hey mom, I'm bringing this to you.
I mean, we're already arguing. We're going to do this regardless of the game. That's what I'm saying. We're going to.
Oh yeah, I agree with him because if this is over $80 million,
my record. I beat more people than you. Like we're always going to have it. So I'm just going to hash out. So
I'm fully with him though. Like if I come to you about 80 mil about a fight and you're like, no, I'm like first thing I'm going to say something to you to make you want to fight. Yeah. Like you're my brother. I'm going to call you a bitch or call you a hoe or something. Whatever the trigger word.
Yeah. Great. And you.
Yeah.
I dated your girlfriend. What? Yeah, we fighting. I'm over 18.
So you ever notice what the baby looks like you? Well, it kind of looks like me too.
Oh damn! Yeah.
No, that's daddy in the shotgun. Cut someone's nose off right here.
So this, when you bring that belt home, though, one of them has to bring it home to mom, and then y'all fighting after later is like.
I look at it just like the Super Bowl rings in the Manning household.
I was going the same spot.
Like I'm sure that both Peyton and Eli's rings are in their parents' household. I'm sure both of Peyton's are somewhere better than Eli's.
Yeah.
His is in the front ring. His is in the back ring. So let me go get his.
I feel like it would be like Eli's, then Peyton's, like, and then
another Peyton.
Well, there's two Peytons, two Eli's, and Peyton got the MVP trophies that Eli will never have.
Dude, that's all that. I mean, Eli doesn't seem like he was ever a popular person.
No.
So I don't think he's
But again,
MVP.
it would always be that picture of him in the Super Bowl in the booth after Peyton won the second one, which you'll never be able to take back. Even whenever Peyton's dying, I was like, I remember Eli how you felt about that Super Bowl. You don't have to
picture. There's some family pictures with that face. I guarantee. When he got his bike, he didn't. There's something. That face has always been. He got drafted. Like shit like that happened.
Oh.
So before we get off the football news, I got a couple more videos. One video I want you to see.
Whoa! Let's have these questions. What?
All right, well, look at that while you ask that question because you're gonna be wilded out by
What
that.
the hell's that?
He tattooed it onto his body. This might be something you get interested in.
I seen that. Yep.
That's the ippest thing you could do.
That's a dope ass tattoo artist though.
I mean, yeah, whoever did that,
that
looks
fine,
so
that's
fucking
not the
real.
decision in life that people should be making. No.
I think he made that decision way before that tattoo. I think that tattoo is just like the last thing added to him. I think he's been Crip Caesar since.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then somebody told him, well, you don't got your thing around your neck. And he's like, well, fuck it.
Yeah,
it's always going to be it.
The
one time.
The message said when you're tired of your flag
when
you're tired of your flag always falling off, so you get it tatted. That's what they call it.
When you want a gangbang in the shower.
Yeah.
That's what that is. They can't tell my cousin. That's what that is.
So just for y'all know, before we get into the questions, another video on the page from November 25th. One of our Hispanic brothers decided that he couldn't deal with his bandana falling off his neck no more, so he got it tatted in the folded pattern around his neck, like crispy fold.
Yeah.
You getting the long triangle?
Yeah, you're gonna get.
I mean,
no.
You could do the front. Like that would have been painful.
That
would have been painful as hell. But yeah,
that's
what YG and them be doing now. Shit.
They bloods too, but I mean.
Oh, yeah. We don't do that shit.
You gotta separate, brother. You can't.
Just say it. But that's too much for me. This is a person that was fully willing to get a wild ass tattoo if the Rams went undefeated.
I was gonna say, coming from the guy who's ready to get Rams tatted on him.
Again, well, one day there'll be some type of like a horn or something somewhere. Like it's gonna be small. But if we would have went undefeated and won the Super Bowl, I'm talking like full blown back tattoo. Like I'd have had to been on a table like this. Like man.
Jamie Foxx, we got it tatted in your head.
No, but I want to grow my dreads long enough to do the horn thing.
Oh, you do the horn thing?
The devil horn dude from the little.
Yeah, but he's doing it for the wrong reasons.
I'm doing it for the wrong.
He's doing it for the whole wrong reasons.
Like Halloween next year.
But no, because when I first saw it, I think Mont showed it to me. I was like, "Oh, that's dope," and he's like, "Oh, he's doing it for this." I'm like, "Oh, never mind." I was like, "I'll do this for a whole different reason."
Yeah, the whole Hellboy.
So let's get these questions going.
All right, 3 points. We up here. We asked 3 questions. One for Jordan, one for myself, and one for both of us, or everybody, anyone who wants to be in for this. But we're gonna run it right here. Do you agree that Phillip Rivers may be today's Dan Marino?
Yeah, I've been saying this for a few years though.
Okay.
Like I've always been the guy that like Phillip Rivers is not going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to have better stats than stats. I still would say that one of these 2 quarterbacks I'm about to name is better than Phillip Rivers. But stats-wise, he's probably going to finish with better stats than both Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, two quarterback Super Bowl winning quarterbacks right there. And again, I do think Ben Roethlisberger is a better quarterback than Philip Rivers in the clutch moments. I think that counts.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't have so,
I don't know. Is
I also don't think,
because they have
the
two
Chargers
rings?
have never given the man any real help after LT retired.
Yeah.
Like Keenan Allen's always heard, I'm not a big Melvin Gordon fan, and Gates is like 95
Gates
years
been
old.
there.
that's part of the deal.
Like I think Philip Rivers and Gates might have been drafted together.
They might have. Like I think he's like, hey, we just running this dynasty forever, man.
So,
I don't
yeah,
know.
no,
I think they were gonna drop Gates this year.
No. Remember the one dude the Steelers picked up a few years ago?
Virgil Green.
Yeah, he was Ladarius Green.
Oh, Ladarius Green.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Antonio Gates' replacement.
Yeah.
And he sucked while Antonio Gates was on the bench for like half a year.
Yeah.
And then they benched him and let him go, and then the Steelers picked him up and found out that he has headaches forever.
Yeah, he had. I think it was from concussions or something. It was one of those issues. Yeah.
So, but no, and again, also on who his ninth kid on the way.
Who?
You talking about that?
Philip.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
It went under. Damn.
So give us 1 second. We'll keep on talking about that because I fucked up and the paper just went like this. Yeah, think of like Philip Rivers' 9 kids. I bet he can name all his kids too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a sneak.
No. Yeah.
Was it Roger? Was it Roger Cromartie or Antonio Cromartie? One of the Cromartie brothers or cousins, because there's like 6 of them in the NFL, has 12 kids. And on Hard Knocks one year, they had him on the sidelines in the training camp, and he tried to name them, and somewhere around like 8 or 9, he fucked up, and he couldn't remember the names. So that's why I'm like, I think Philip Rivers can remember all his kids' names and the future kid's name. And he's the only one out here with the bolo tie, which I cannot pull off. James. Oh, this is for him anyway. Do the Ravens have a legit QB issue, or is is Flacco's job secure?
All right. Okay. I don't think it's secure. I definitely, whenever I saw them draft Lamar Jackson, I was like, and he was mad as hell whenever he found out. I was like, this is it. If he don't play good this year, he ain't gonna do shit.
I feel like Joe Flacco should have saw this coming, because who's the third string quarterback? Which most teams don't keep three quarterbacks.
RG3, I think.
Right. So you got the quarterback that's behind Lamar Jackson is a quarterback that plays like Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You do that. So they're preparing to keep Lamar Jackson if RG3 is going to be the backup.
Yeah.
Who, shockingly, RG3 was a second overall pick in a draft, and Lamar Jackson was 31st. But yeah, now they're preparing to move Joe Flacco out. I don't think RG3 will be there for long because he cannot be your backup long term.
No.
But RG3 is the closest thing in the NFL that can replicate what Lamar Jackson can do.
Yeah.
Like who else maybe might, like Russell Wilson? Cam's too big. Like Lamar Jackson's not that big. I'm worried about that because.
Somebody was saying, Vince Young, I think, said you gotta just calm yourself or something. Like you said, don't go too hard.
Yeah, I'm worried about Lamar Jackson. Yeah. Even though the Ravens are kicking it old school right now, they're averaging like 250 yards rushing a game.
Oh wow!
Lamar Jackson's averaging like 124 alone. But like the rushing between him and the actual running back they're the only team doing this by like a long shot.
Cam can't do that no more. Nobody else is really out there like playing like that. Dak Prescott can't run.
That one backup quarterback for the Saints that they put in every once in a while.
I mean, that doesn't count.
He gets it.
He gets it. He does it. Yeah.
They keep him on the roster as a quarterback. That's why I'm confused. Like I said, they're like, yeah, it's a quarterback. I'm like, he just returned a kick though.
Yeah.
He's an all-around football player. That's all I can say.
So this one's for both of us. This one's a weird one because I didn't know this happened. How do you feel about Tom Brady getting a commercial for reaching 1,000 rushing yards after 265 games with cameos from Barry Sanders and Terrell Davis?
What?
Game, they played a commercial, and it was Barry Sanders talking like, "Oh yeah, this guy's great. He did it, and then it went to Terrell Davis, and he said, and it was like, "Congratulations, Tom Brady, 1,000 yards rushing." And it's like every quarterback in history has reached 1,000 way before this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, this is a
I guarantee Peyton Manning does not have 1,000 rushing yards total.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Peyton Manning, I think he should. I don't know.
There's a lot of quarterbacks who don't have a 1,000-yard rushing commercial. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
First thing, Barry Sanders is one of them dudes that don't like doing stuff. Like he's a quiet dude. I've noticed. Terrell Davis would do this.
Yeah, but if you're gonna bring out one of the rushing gods,
I didn't matter if it was Jim Brown.
for that.
Like, you know how mad I'd have been if they had taught Jim Brown into doing
Yeah,
this?
but I'm saying there's so many other people that deserve that if you want to do that. Like, come on. Do it. Like, like.
Well, this is the second time this has happened because they did the same thing for the Super Bowl. Whenever the Tom Brady was like, "Yeah, I got a," they did the Diamond commercial like 6 months early, and it was like they saved it for when they won the Super Bowl, and it's like, "Yeah, I got to get another one. I got to size up for my new ring," and they like released it like seconds after they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady is about this making commercials for moments life.
They made a Russian. Okay.
No, this is wrong. This is wrong. I'm not co-signing this in any way, shape, or form.
4,000 quarterbacks who have 1,000 yards rushing.
Peyton only got 667.
Told you. I'm just happy he got one more yard because it would have been.
All right. Okay.
That was the fall after the negative. It was just like one stumble yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Peyton Manning. I'm surprised Peyton Manning got past 500.
Yeah. I mean, he just the way he ran, it was awkward as hell.
Because the head and like the weight of the head, it was always weird.
I don't know. Tom Brady, I don't know. He definitely doesn't deserve it. I think because he does like run. Like, I mean, like he doesn't often run, but like
Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback that I don't think gets credit for running as much as he does, which he has to.
Yeah.
But no, Tom Brady getting like
he doesn't have to ever
it's
run.
like years. Like he's almost 40.
It took the end of his career. Like he has 19 more games left in him. Like, and he just reached 1,000. Like, come on. Like you just ran. Your last game was when you fell down.
Wait, did he like run a few yards
He
or
ran
something?
5 yards in that game, and it was like, oh, he's just not bracing.
But what if he got sacked twice?
You know,
The
it's
commercial he never played.
No. But after that though,
Oh, then.
like he got negative 10 yards
They
after.
made penalties and not counted.
Oh.
There were no loss. We did not lose after the commercial got played.
That was funny because back when I was like that little time when we had an arena football team, I had watched like arena football on TV once for a game. It was like a regular season game, and the fullback, because fullbacks actually run the ball in arena football. I was watching the game. He's like, he's going to break the arena football record for rushing in this game, and he broke the record and then lost the record, and the game ended.
Oh damn!
I never led up to see if he broke. Like he probably broke it the next week, but I just remember like, oh, he broke the record. And then like a play later, he lost like 5 yards and he lost the record. And I was like, ooh, shit. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. So no, that's possible. That would suck, but that's
That would have
possible.
been funny. I think I would have. I mean, I feel like if I was
Bernie Mac has a whole movie about this.
Yeah. Mr. 3000, yeah.
Found out you were a couple of hits.
How many was it? Like 3 or 4?
It was 3.
Yeah.
He was like 70, so it was like hard as hell to get 3. Like it was a wrap to get that 3.
But yeah, no, like that's what made me wonder about Jerry Rice. 'Cause Jerry Rice holds the record for most touchdown catches, but he has 197. And I always wondered about Jerry because Jerry Rice, remember, he played with the Raiders and the Seahawks before he decided to call it quits. And I'm like, how much did you want to get to 200? Because that's what I think you were trying to do. And at some point, you were just like, nobody called to let me play.
3. That's all he wants. Like someone call him now.
That'd be tight.
Fran,
Yeah.
call Rice right now. And yeah, 3.
No, he wouldn't play with San Fran.
Not now.
Not now.
I think the winning that dance competition helped a little bit.
What, that made up for the 3?
Maybe.
No.
Again, he'd be the only person with it. Like, he holds the record, so it's not like he doesn't hold the record, but it would be a milestone to have. Also, it's one of the hardest records to even break in the video game, so I'll give him that.
Okay. You understand his plight.
Because you can break the running back records easy. Like, almost easy.
Number 1 rushing quarterbacks, Randall Cunningham, just to let people know.
Okay.
All times.
I don't know.
1,928 yards. So he
I wonder how far.
Was it Brady also tied Manning's touchdown record too?
Well, it doesn't matter because Drew Brees has the record. There was a battle between who was going to get there first this year, but Drew Brees went off.
I mean, that's different though.
Number 2 is Steve Young.
What?
Steve Young was still.
I understand, but I don't know. Okay.
I'm shocked. All honesty, all these records would have been shattered if Vic didn't go to jail.
Yeah, because Vic was number 3 with 300 or 3,900.
Ah, damn, yeah. I think would have.
Then it wouldn't shock me if Cam was actually right after that already.
Cam's not even in the top 10.
Top 10, oh shit.
He just hasn't been running lately. It's because of.
I'm actually interested in this list though. This list is interesting.
Yeah.
Because some of these quarterbacks are gonna be from like the 40s.
Only like 3.
But again, that's before the forward pass. So these dudes were.
Yeah, it's like I'm taking the ball into the house every time. It's like.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yep.
That was like the Vikings quarterback.
Yeah.
He played. Hey, he played in the Super Bowl against the Steelers.
Steve McNair, number 5.
That doesn't shock me.
John Elway, number 6.
That shocks me. Actually,
John McNabb, number 7.
Okay.
that doesn't shock me. He was a decent runner.
Cordell Stewart.
Okay.
See, that one's weird to me, man, because he was playing like multiple positions.
He should have. I mean, yeah, he was a damn near everything. He was a stat guy too. So maybe that's why. All right, Jim Harbaugh, number 9.
Whoa, okay. I know nothing. I know he played quarterback for the Colts. I know nothing else about what like Jim Harbaugh was doing.
You out here
The
running
picture is him running from like the Steelers. Whoever 96 was back in the day.
96 with Jim.
It's like early '90s.
It's like a rush for his life too. It's like that chase is what led to him getting those yards. Like that run looks like
Oh yeah.
he's forcing you to run extra 10 yards. Like
Yeah.
whoever it
But I
is.
did not know Jim Harbaugh was about that life. Shout out to the
And
Michigan
number
coach.
10 is Greg Landry. For the Lions.
Nothing about that guy, but all right.
Yeah. So that's your top 10.
Okay.
So
And what's his name just got 1,000, and he got a fucking commercial. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
was it a commercial or just like a commemoration? Like
It was a commercial.
Like was there something being sold?
No, it was a. It was. I mean, no, it wasn't a commercial like that. It was just selling like his shoes because now they got the new Jordan runners for Tom Brady. It wasn't like
What? Jordan Runners?
Yeah,
What?
it
What?
It wasn't like the 1,000-yard scamper shoes or nothing. It wasn't like it was a congratulations Tom Brady.
I'd have been mad as hell if I was like somebody else on the teams that might have had like something I cared about celebrating. But all right. One more update for y'all because I'm a broke ass nigga for the moment. We will be going 2 shows a week until I get my money straight. I can at least promise that for now. I don't want to go like whole weeks without working.
In fact, we're doing a back-to-back show now.
Yeah, we going
Tuesday show starts in 3. 2. We can get all 4 days in.
But again, this is Unfiltered, Jay Skyline.
And James here.
And y'all know what time it is, man. Rams forever, Rams always. And that's we out. It's on him. He let me end it like that.
What? I was looking for this linebacker. Wait, what number was that?
96, and it was probably a defensive end.
96. Brenston Buckner.
That's who it was.
I'd run from that guy.
96. I mean, I don't know how long is.
His name was Brixton.
He was